Hey, Walk the Line listeners, welcome to another episode of the Walk the Line podcast. I'll be your host, Greg Sowers, and today for episode 41, we're going to continue on our good qualities of specific positions and go with the 5 qualities that make a good centerman. Obviously, these past 2 episodes, we've done the 5 qualities of a good defenseman, 5 qualities of a good winger. We'll continue with 5 qualities of a good centerman today. And then in the future, we actually have a goalie coach coming on who's going to discuss 5 qualities of a good goaltender. I'm sure everyone's excited to hear from an actual goalie coach and not just me, where I would say just keep the puck out of the net. So 5 qualities of a good center. So we're going to do this the same format as we've done in the past, but I hope you guys enjoyed the past 2 episodes that have been kind of different from our episodes in the past. So just hop right into it. Episode 41, 5 qualities of a good centerman. Number 1, and I think I said this for the other 2 positions as well, but your skating ability. So as a centerman, you are constantly in the middle of everything. You control the middle of the ice. You got to be good on your edges, be able to react to, pucks going in your corner, pucks that are thrown into the middle of the ice from a defense perspective. However, when I talk about skating ability for a centerman, it doesn't necessarily mean the speed at that position, right? Your wingers, you got to be fast to get up and down the ice. You can see that when you watch NHL games. The wingers are usually your speedy guys skating in those, straight lines. For a centerman, it's more of being strong, being able to win battles in the corners. You have that good low hockey position. You're able to use your edges to react quickly to where the puck is going in your defensive zone and in your offensive zone. But a big part of it is the acceleration. So how fast can I get to, that puck that's in the corner from where I'm standing, maybe on the defensive zone dot. We don't want to be, as a centerman, you got to be one of the first guys in there to help out your defenseman if he falls down in the corner, or help out your wingerman who maybe that D stepped down and pinched on him. You got to be the guy who gets over to that wall and helps out your teammate. As a centerman, you have the most defensive responsibilities out of any of the 3 forwards on the ice. Kind of the way we have our teams run is the centerman is almost acting as a third defenseman down low. So you have to have the ability to think like a defenseman and also think like a forward, and having the skating ability to match those responsibilities to, assist in getting you around the ice maybe better than a winger can is what's going to make you a good center. So skating ability is number 1. So strong in your skates, be able to use your edges effectively, and the acceleration, getting from the front of the net to wherever that puck may be on the ice. The second quality is definitely center specific, and that's your ability to win faceoffs. When we talked about our wingers and our defensemen, we talked about the ability to win battles. Well, pretty much every time a centerman's on the ice, you're going to at least take 1 faceoff, and every faceoff is a 50-50 battle. So when I have centermen on my team, and we have an important D-zone faceoff, maybe there's 10 seconds left, we're up by a goal, all that opposing team wants to do is win that faceoff. So I'm going to find my best centerman who has the best, face-off percentage, or however they're playing, that game, because I want to win that 50-50 battle as soon as the puck, drops. It gives your team the initial possession off of every single face-off. If your centerman's able to win that face-off, and it's one of those things that I think, I even do it too, where it's overlooked in practice because we're only given, this 50 or 60 minutes. So how am I going to stop practice for our centerman just to work on face-offs? Quite honestly, it's probably built into things when we're doing, breakouts or, in-zone offensive face-off plays. That's where the centermen are going to work on their face-offs. But, it's something you can work on at home. It's something you can work on before coach starts doing drills. Just have an assistant coach or even the head coach ask them if they could drop a few pucks for you, and you go, you have a face-off with another centerman on the team. As you get older and move up in levels, the ability for a centerman to win face-offs is a big part of their responsibility. You want to be the guy on the ice that the coach can trust to win that 50-50 battle right when your shift starts. So Work on your face-offs. It's a big component as a centerman. Centerman, so for the third quality, you have to be team-oriented. You cannot be a selfish center and be a good center. The best centers in the NHL are the ones who win the Selke Trophy, and they're the ones who, help out on defense, but they may not be getting 100 points in a season. There's a time and place for everything, but a good centerman can't cheat the game and be the first one out of the zone, because as a centerman, out of the defensive zone, because as a centerman, half of your responsibility is defense. You have to be down low to help out your defenseman. So you have to have, the team mentality, because quite honestly, a lot of times the centers are your quote unquote most skilled players on your team. But if that centerman isn't willing to do the little things and play the defensive side of the puck, well, he's not going to be a good centerman for me. You have to be willing to, maybe it's your winger that gets that breakaway pass, but maybe that pass is coming from you because you're helping out in the defensive zone. As a centerman, you can't cheat the game. You can't get ahead of the puck. You have to stay below the puck, between your man and the net, and worry about your defensive responsibilities, especially in the D zone. And then depending on how your coach, runs their systems or runs their team, in the offensive zone is when you can be creative and show your offensive skill. But you have to be willing to make the sacrifice as a centerman to worry about keeping the puck out of your net first before you can think about going on offense and creating scoring opportunities. The fourth quality is your vision. Vision or hockey sense, however you want to put it. But as a centerman, you are responsible for a lot of different areas on the ice. Like we already talked about, helping out corners, helping out wingers on the wall in the defensive zone. But you have to be able to read the play, just like as we talked about with defensemen. Where is that next play going to be? Who's the most dangerous guy on the ice? Because again, your responsibility is more than putting pucks in the net. It's how am I going to help keep pucks out of our own net? So reading plays, having your stick in a good, in a passing lane, having your stick on the ice, staying low, being strong to take on any body contact that may come. Just because a centerman, again, you have so many responsibilities that you have to have the ability to read the play and see what might be coming next from the defensive side of things. On the offensive side of things, you're basically, you have your defenseman at the blue line, but if you're a good enough center, you could potentially be the quarterback for that offensive zone possession. You can control when the cycle is, and you can direct your wingers where you want them to go. You can do switches with your defenseman. Because you're a centerman and generally you're in the middle of the ice, you can see things that other players on your team can't, and you can put your teammates in better positions for better scoring opportunities just because of where you generally hang out on the ice. So the vision aspect will help out defensively, but also help out offensively and allow your offensive creativity to show. The fifth one, and this is kind of all-encompassing, but your stick skills. So we talked about with wingers, working on your shot, and you can obviously all work on that at home. But for a center, you have to be well-rounded enough to, be a good passer, be a strong stick handler, shoot the puck hard, whether that's accurate or just a, black and white hard shot. The centers have to be the best with their sticks when the pucks are on your stick, because you have so much control of how the game's going to go. You are the guy in the middle of the ice. So how do we work on those things? Working on stick skills is something you can work on any time of day, outside, inside, at home. Stick it on at home. Use a golf ball. Get your hands moving quicker. Find cones. Stick handle around soup cans if you don't have cones. There's really no excuse to not work on your stick skills because all you need is a stick and borrow one of Dad's golf balls. If you don't have a golf ball, you can use a puck. If you don't have a puck, email me. I'll get you a puck. There's so many things you can do away from the rink to improve on your passing, stick handling, and shooting that you don't need ice for. And as a centerman, there's so many times on the ice where, again, you're the guy in the middle where a winger could pass you the puck, a D could give you the puck in the middle of the ice on the offensive zone. You could be retrieving a puck that's wrapped around the wall. Like I said before, a centerman should be one of the most well-rounded players on the ice just because of how many different responsibilities and different positions a centerman will find them in. So just to recap, again, in my opinion, 5 qualities of a good centerman. 1, the skating ability, your edges, strong on your skates, the acceleration piece. You don't have to be the fastest player on the ice, but you need to move around the ice efficiently. The second one is your face-offs. Okay, again, every face-off is a 50-50 battle. I'm going to put the kid on the ice or the player on the ice who is going to give us the best opportunity to start with possession at the beginning of every shift because I know they can win a face-off. The third quality, you have to be team-oriented. Okay, you are a centerman. There are guys out there who rack up a ton of points as a centerman, and that's perfectly fine. But if you're playing for a defensive-minded coach, a centerman has the most defensive responsibilities of any of the forwards. You have to be willing to play defense. You have to be willing to do things that may take away a few points from you throughout the year, but ultimately it will lead to your team's success by how much you're willing to play on the defensive side of the puck. The fourth quality is your vision and your creativity. Again, reading plays, making plays in the offensive zone, using your hockey sense to put your teammates in a better position to score and or keep the puck out of your net. Just because you are in the middle of the ice, you can control the game, you can slow it down, you can speed it up, you can, make a big play, or you can make the little play that no one sees, but it's an important play to get the puck out of the zone or keep the puck in the zone. And then the fifth one is your stick skills. So passing, shooting, stick handling, the strength on your stick, being able to lift up guys' sticks in front of the net, the ability to win those battles with your stick. If you're a centerman and you're listening to this, you can do these things at home. You don't need to be on the ice to work on your strength with your stick or work on your stick handling. And now's the time to do it. We're in July. Hockey season's, right around the corner already. Do these things that are going to make you that much better than a teammate or someone you're going to be playing this year, because you have to train in the mindset of, well, I'm deciding not to stick handle today, but I know the guy I'm playing is stick handling today. So if you're not doing it, somebody else is. And if you want to be the best, you got to do what other people are not doing. So I hope everyone got something out of that. Hopefully all of our forwards are listening to the Center and Winger podcast, just even though if they're not a center or winger, you can learn a lot, because who knows, you might get thrown into that position this year. Like I said, we have a goalie coach coming on our next episode to discuss 5 qualities of a good goaltender, and just some other things we have going on. Again, this month as our junior college prep skates that are happening Wednesday mornings at Centennial from 6:15 to 7:30. And then we have some small group training sessions at the lab as well from 5:15 to 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday afternoons. If you want any more information on those, it can be found at 307hockey.com, or you can reach out to my Instagram, which is coach_Greg_Sowers. But I hope everyone had a great 4th of July. Hopefully everyone had a good time watching Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. And we will talk again soon.